These are the plaintiffs, Aisha Davi and Demario Jordan. Aisha says she and her boyfriend moved from South Carolina to New York City and they rented an apartment from the defendant. The sneaky woman lied about the condition of the place. The water that came out of the faucets was a yellow pea color. There was no heat in the winter, and she tried to secretly record them while they were in the apartment. Outrageous! The defendant owes them $1,800 in security she's withholding, and they're here suing her for just that today. This is the defendant, Latasha Bannister. She says the plaintiffs moved into her beautiful brownstone apartment and the neighbors began complaining about them immediately. They smoke reefer at all hours. Their dog scratched up her door and door frame, and they disconnected her security cameras. If anyone here today is owed money, it's certainly not the plaintiffs. That's for sure. She's accused of lousy landlording. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for repairs and unpaid rent.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff moved from South Carolina to the Big Apple, and it was a disaster. Water came out of the faucet, yellow pea color, and there was no heat. But the defendant says the plaintiffs were stoners who had an out-of-control dog. It's the case of My Shower Water is Golden.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Ms. Dobby, Mr. Jordan, you're suing your former landlord, Ms. Bannister, for $1,800 that you say she owes you from a security deposit. You've got a counterclaim against them for $5,000, the statutory maximum. According to you, you're out $10,000 something. All right, let me hear from you first. What's going on?
Okay, so my boyfriend and I, we ended up deciding we were going to move to New York City.
From where?
From South Carolina.
Okay.
Moving to New York City, and we saved up some money, and I was trying to find an apartment in Brooklyn, and my mom actually worked with some nieces her nieces, who actually said that she had an apartment in a brownstone, had the bottom floor available.
So your mom lives in New York?
No, she lives in South Carolina and got the information from her nieces who are also in South Carolina about their Aunt Latasha, who is in New York City.
So how is it that you see the apartment? You see pictures?
Yes, I see pictures.
And you end up renting it before seeing it, before actually stepping foot in it?
Yes.
Okay.
I put a $500 hold on it, and then I spend $3,100 on top of it on the 18th of December.
All right. So you move in on what day?
January 3rd.
And then did you sign a lease?
No, we got there. We were told that there was going to be a lease, and we kept asking, and she kept saying she was going to get it together.
Okay.
And then she went out of town.
And then what happens?
We just started having issues with the apartment.
Such as?
There was yellow pea, there was water in the water in the tub was yellow.
Okay. Is that what you meant to say those 4 times? The water in the tub was yellow.
Yes.
Do you know why?
No. I was actually about to go in, and then I saw that it was completely yellow, and I actually have pictures of it.
Okay. Let's see the pictures. Hold on.
Also around this time, Your Honor, we had like a nor'easter come in. If you're from this area, I mean, up north, you know, like it was really cold. The air was set, or the heat was set to turn off every weekend. So it was negative 12 degrees outside. With the wind chill, we had no heat.
Okay, so hold on. Let's talk about the water that we were talking about. So you sent her a text explaining to her that the water was yellow and the ice maker didn't work. The heat keeps cutting off on the weekends. How many weekends had the heat been cutting off?
Every weekend.
Every weekend.
All right. So it's January 19th, and you say, good morning, I haven't been able to use the tub because the water's yellow. Also, the dishwasher doesn't work, or the ice maker, and the heat keeps cutting off on the weekends. I'm confused about what to do for internet. I'm willing to pay, but I don't know. These are just some concerns I have with the apartment. She answers, I tried to call you. First, I have nothing to do with the color of your water. You're now living in New York. What does that mean?
Basically,
you're not in Kansas anymore, pumpkin. What does that mean?
Basically mean they were doing work in the street, so I had nothing to do with the color of her water.
If the water is yellow, well, maybe not. If the water, that is,
and
sometimes when they do work on the street,
they
we do have that. If the water is yellow, they may be working on something on the streets underground that's causing that problem, which it should go back to its original standard soon. If it doesn't in 24 hours, you can let me know and I'll call the city. All right. Second, I'll be back home this weekend to get someone to reset the temperature gauge so it won't drop down on Sunday. Third, you're not going to have a dishwasher. It works.
I disconnected.
It's disconnected.
Right.
No one gets a dishwasher in New York. Says who?
These are the things we spoke about previous, so that's
Especially
why.
when they don't pay utilities. You're going to have to prove to me you spoke about that previously. Or for the price of rent you pay. Again, I used to live there. That's why it's there. Certain things are not paid by the landlord. Necessity, yes. Luxury, that varies depending on the price. That sounds like you're telling them for the first time that they're not going to have a dishwasher, when in the pictures that they saw a dishwasher.
No, that's not.
Prove to me you told them, hey, I know there's a picture of a dishwasher, but I'm disconnecting it because I don't feel like paying your utilities for the dishwasher. Did that ever happen? Because I don't think it's in here.
Well, I'll take that hit and say,
yeah,
okay,
take the
but
hit.
if it's not in there, right, I'll take
when
that.
I asked you guys about Cablevision, you didn't let me know for sure what you wanted to do, so when I shut it off now, you're in a rush for Cablevision. You are always welcome to call and get your own Cablevision. Only thing, DirecTV's not allowed because they drill. Blah, blah, blah. Sounds good. Thank you. At that point, they're still not, like, that was kind of a testy text back, but at that point, you're still fine. That's why I didn't finish your lease, because it has to be changed a lot, because you have things in your apartment that tenants don't get. Your lease has to be changed a lot. Well, that's a kind of the thing to tell people before they move in somewhere.
I did.
So, no.
Right, but I understand.
No. First, you write the lease that has your demands. Whatever it is. I'm not going to pay for your this. I'm not going to pay for your that. You got to pay for repairs under such and such. Whatever it is you want. First lease, move in second. First lease, move in second. In December, you send them a text saying what your understanding is, because you don't have a lease prepared. Why don't you just prepare the lease?
Well, there's a reason why. I didn't say my side yet.
Okay, what is the reason you didn't have a lease before people move into your place?
So landlord in this case disconnects the dishwasher because landlord didn't want to pay the utility bill. Can the landlord do that?
I think if it says in the lease that they
Doesn't say in the lease.
yes, I think they can.
They can? Really?
No, they can't.
Why?
If there's nothing in the lease, why would they disconnect the?
Because they don't want to pay the money. They're cheap. They don't want to pay the money.
No, I don't think they can.
Why?
Because the tenant has a right to pay for that service.
Because?
Because they're living there.
Well, not just that. What did the tenant see? The dishwasher when the tenant moved in, right? Okay, going inside the courtroom.
The reason why she didn't have a lease is because I give people a trial period between 3 and 6 months.
No problem. So wait, because I love this.
Okay.
So you don't have a lease for your own benefit. Your own benefit, I have no problem with that. You want to give her a trial period because if you don't like them as tenants, then you want them out and you don't want to be stuck to a lease. That's great, except I can't help but notice in your stop.
Okay, go ahead.
And listen, I can't help but notice in your counterclaim that you have the chutzpah to sue for the rest of a year lease that you now want the benefit of that you didn't get signed.
I'm sorry, it's misunderstood. You're misunderstanding me. I give them a lease for 3 to 6 months. I give it to them.
Did you give her a lease before she moved in of 3 to 6 months?
And if you look in my text,
did you ever give them any lease?
She didn't.
Did they sign a lease?
No.
Okay, so how is it that you're suing for $9,000 for rent for a lease that never got signed?
To you. Because she wanted a year, so I had to change the lease.
Yeah, and did she sign it?
No, because...
So stop.
Okay, go ahead.
If you don't have a lease, you don't get the benefits of a lease. The benefits of a lease is that someone's locked in for a year. If you don't have a written lease, then what you have, by virtue of operation of law in New York and everywhere else, is a month-to-month. So that's all you've got. So no on the $9,000. And now let's talk about what else is happening. You're suing. You would decide you end up leaving. And why do you end up leaving?
Just with all the issues and nothing's getting addressed. And
so was it still cold? What was not getting addressed?
Yeah, it was still cold. It would still come off on the weekends. She said she adjusted it, but it still would come off.
Okay, so when do you let her know that you're leaving?
The 27th of January.
And where did you end up going?
To
another
place down the not far, like 10, 15 minutes
And
away.
are you still there now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want your security back, and you are not releasing it to them. One, because you want $9,000 for a year, which we've already gone over. Why else are you not releasing it to them?
No, ma'am. Your Honor, what happened is when they asked for their security back, if you look in the texts, I was actually willing to give it back.
I saw.
Right. Although when they moved, I went to the apartment. Then after, once I went to the apartment, I see their dog had torn up my door really badly.
Okay, let me see pictures of that. Do you have that?
Yes, I do. Okay, this is where the dog tore into the insulation of the door. The dog dug a bunch of holes into...
I'm sorry, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you mean by insulation in a door?
There's insulation of the door to keep the rain and the wind, and the cold out. Because the dog ripped into the insulation of the rubber and stuff, water drips inside the back room. If you go to a picture, you'll see how their door ripped into... See it? how his,
It's very hard to see what, I mean, it's a, I
tried to
appreciate
bring it
your,
closer.
is this the
Right.
little rubber piece?
Right.
Okay, that's not insulation. You're talking about the piece of rubber that seals the door.
Right.
Okay, insulation to me is something inside the door.
Okay,
And that's
I'm
what you kept
sorry.
saying, insulation
Okay.
in the door.
Right.
All right, so you mean the rubber stripping, right?
Right.
That's what you mean?
right, that's correct.
Okay, is all this grime from their dog?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, now what, did you have a pet there?
We did.
What kind of pet?
That's a puppy, a dog,
I can't hear you.
a dog,
What kind of dog?
a husky.
He was big.
Okay, just a second.
Sorry.
And can you please tell me what the deal is with the door there?
I'm not aware if he did that.
Well,
See, I'm not sure.
This is not something you don't see in your apartment. You
No,
see
no.
this.
It
Go
was
ahead.
already
Yeah,
dirt.
pipe up.
No, the door situation is 100% fair. With the rubber insulation.
Okay.
There are multiple times where he was like kind of trying to get
Okay.
out, and we would take him on a walk.
All right,
So,
and then you said you had something from Home Depot?
Oh, yeah,
think-
because the door comes in, like it comes as a whole compartment. It's
Yeah, but
not
you
a
could just
door.
buy the rubber stripping. You don't
Right.
need to buy the whole
I
thing.
asked him that, and he said if I bought the rubber stripping, it wouldn't go in the way. I asked him.
Who's them?
I was at Home Depot with the gentleman who put his name on there. I did ask him about the rubber stripping, and he said, ma'am, the way that rubber stripping gets put in there is very difficult, and I don't know if he's just trying to make a sale. He says you might as well buy the door versus trying to get someone.
So rather than buying some rubber stripping, you should spend $1,000.
Well,
Is that what he said? What is $850 for installation and $200 for a door?
I haven't
All right,
ordered
and now $300 for monies to repair and replace security cameras. What's that about?
They disconnected my security cameras, which she knew of as well.
Wait, what security cameras?
I have security cameras in the home not inside of someone's home, meaning them, meaning the outside, to make sure the tenants do the trash and things of that sort. There's no lobbying or whatever, hanging out or whatever it may be. I have a camera system. She knew this. If you read the text when I let her
Okay,
know.
hold on. Are you saying that the machinery is in her apartment, but
Yes.
there's no camera in her apartment?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Now, was there a camera in your apartment watching your every move?
When we first moved in, we saw that there was a camera system inside, and there was
When you
also.
say camera system, do you mean
He's
something
good.
watching you?
I don't know about
Not
that.
that I know of.
Okay,
so
okay,
she's
okay.
correct on that. There was a computer sitting on a stand, like a little computer desk in a corner. She asked us multiple times if we wanted it removed. She'll put it upstairs because her nieces that
'Cause it
gave the
broke.
recommendation lived right upstairs. They moved
Okay.
in 2 days after us.
Okay, from South Carolina also?
From South Carolina also.
Oh, well.
Not all of the outlets were working in the place, so we needed the outlet that was
So
there.
what did you guys do? When she says you
Unplug one
disconnected, all you
cord.
did was unplug it?
Unplug the power cord.
But she
Okay.
said it was already broken when we moved in. She said it's totally broken. I have
I'm sorry, so hold on. So all you did was unplug it?
Just the power cord.
Okay, and what are you saying?
The camera system was completely, they disconnected the camera system because the tenant called me and told me that they were smoking marijuana outside.
Okay.
And I think that they felt like, after he had told me that, and it's in the text because he texted me and told me that there were a bunch of kids outside, about 6 or 8 of them, and it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. It was coming in his window, and he was very
Were you
upset
folks
over the
smoking
conversation.
marijuana outside
And after
or
that,
inside?
my camera system
Talking
went down.
about an instance where it dealt with her nieces that were upstairs and some people that they brought over. And when she came in, she cursed them out and complained because she smelled marijuana in their apartment and yelled out the window at us when we were out there. And
Were y'all smoking it together?
No.
Absolutely, they were downstairs.
Including your nieces?
Including my nieces don't live there anymore.
I wonder why.
And you could see the text from the neighbor saying that they're out there smoking it. My nieces can't get in the backyard if they didn't let them, because that was their backyard. They allowed my nieces to come down and do all of that together. And I was very upset over it because I told them previous to moving there, there's no smoking. And it's not what you do, it's the way you do it. You want to be 8 people out there deep or whatever with, it's a bit much.
Your Honor, she came
All
over
right,
the
everybody
next
just
day.
stop. Everybody just stop. Stop.
So I think that's why they disconnected my camera.
Maybe.
Right.
But I still am going to need some proof that they did something other than unplug it. Because you see, if I don't want you to tape me, all I got to do is unplug it, right? So there would be no reason for me to mess with a cable. So that doesn't make any sense. All right. I am, however, going to allow a deduction from the security deposit for the damage to the door and the labor that it will cause to re-weather strip the door. I'm allowing that in the amount of $250. and ordering you to return the rest of the security deposit in the amount of $1,550, and that resolves your counterclaim against them as well, because they are not going to have to pay to replace your security camera, and they certainly aren't going to have to pay $9 grand for a lease that never got signed. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiffs are going to get back the bulk of their security deposit, less $250 for you to fix the door.
Yes.
So, you okay?
No, I'm fine with it. I think that they were totally dishonest, but unfortunately, these things happen.
Did you file the countersuit because they sued you?
No, I filed the countersuit, basically meaning she's the one who wanted a year lease. No. So I never thought someone can just tell you 24 hours previous, oh, okay, I'm moving out. Okay. So I said, I feel like, if anything, she owes me. I don't know her, but,
The judge didn't agree with that.
Right, absolutely.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right, thank you very much. You must sign a few documents. Here come the plaintiffs now. So you're going to get money back, finally.
Yes.
Make you feel better?
Yes, great.
That's good. You happy about that?
Very happy.
I got to ask you a question. How do you get your hair to stay up like that? I've been looking at it. I can't figure it out.
It's all natural, organic.
Really?
It's organic. It
Good
just grows
for you.
like that.
Good. I know everybody's wondering the same thing. How do you do that? Well, congratulations. It doesn't take a lot of work. It's a piece of cake.
It's easy.
Good for you. That's even better. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you
Okay,
so
good
much.
enough. You're happy where you're living now?
Yes.
Okay,
Very,
good. Way to go.
Very.
Okay, congratulations.
Like the great TYDM says, some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. Today we're the windshield.
You're the windshield. Okay. Harvey?
Here's the thing, the landlord's lucky because in some states, landlords get socked for 3 times the amount wrongfully withheld. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.